So hello guys, how are you? I hope I find you on. Thank you so much for the amazing support that you give this YouTube channel. As you can see, I am in the rural areas of Dema. We're in Dema. Seke. Oh, we are in Seke. So guys, we are in Seke. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Mkubati?
I am good and I'm happy to see you here back in Zimbabwe. And one of the things that I'm happy about is that you're creating content also.
Yes.
I'm happy.
Yes. Thank you so much. I'm also very honored that you visited me today.
You are doing so well.
Thank you.
And one of the things that have impressed me is that you having the audacity to come back, living where people call green pastures, and you are here back home in Zimbabwe.
Home is the best. There's no place like home.
Yes. What made you to make that bold decision of saying, you know what, I'm leaving everything here in South Africa, I am going back home?
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first thing is peace of mind.
Yes.
You know, I may not have a fancy life, I may not have fancy things, I may not have furniture, but the peace of mind that is here is more than someone who is living in the greener pastures right now. Yeah.
I think people think that they have to have everything for them to come back here, back home. And most of the people, they sort of like live in a prison where they say, since I don't have enough, I've been here for many years, and when I go back, people are going to laugh at me. What's your message to people like that who are living for people and not living for themselves?
So life is about you. You are the only person who can control your own life. You know, the people who worry about much, sometimes they have nothing to offer. They don't give us anything. They don't help us with anything. So the moment you keep delaying yourself, that I'll go back home when I have this and that, you are delaying your progress. Because if you come earlier, you can actually push and maybe even overtake them.
So did you come with millions to come back home? Or you just came as you are?
I just came with my two monarchs, one like this and the smaller one. You see, I haven't even roofed. You know, the delay, of course, is because of money. But because I know I'm home, I have this house where I can sleep, where I'm safe. I'm not even bothered. I know as time goes on. You know, you can't come to another thing. What makes people maybe to stay and think maybe they'll come when they have everything.
Yes.
Is they want to come and make sure that they have everything they need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Of which I can live within my means.
How was life in South Africa?
Let me say 50-50. South Africa took care of me, to be honest. But you know, sometimes if you're not getting where you want to get, sometimes you don't see any reason to keep working the other side. So it's better to suffer when you're home than to suffer in a foreign land.
So what's your plan? You're back home. Are you going to be doing projects, and are you here full time?
Yeah, I'm going to be here full time. From the day I mentioned that I'm going to be here, I'm staying here, and ever since I've been staying here since the day I came. The plan now, I want to build a village for everyone. Wow. Not only for me. I also do philanthropy, by the way. So I want to build other houses there. The mapango, the kitchens. Of course, because they're the ones I afford, and I want them to look tradition. Since, you know, many people are doing fancy lives, modern lives. I don't afford that.
Yes.
So since I also love culture and I believe in culture, I decided to build Zimbabwe culture. And then
I want to tell you something that is really important that I've discovered as a content creator. I've interviewed people who are into rural tourism, and that's your plan right now. I'm telling you, rural tourism is the future. 5 years from now, those who are doing it are going to be doing it 5 years from now. Because at the end of the day, those who are living in the cities, they are sort of like disconnected from their rural life. And when they see people like you doing rural tourism, and people are going to come in places like this to learn their culture. So I'm telling you, when rural tourism, you never go wrong. Is
it?
Yeah.
I've also seen maybe like our cousins or maybe our sisters' kids who come from overseas. Sometimes they can't they don't even know how to make fire. They don't even know what is mbeva, what is madura, what is kucheka uswa. They have no experience with that. So I'm going to be that auntie
because for me, when I was growing up, I used to hate rural life. And now I've changed my perspective, but I would want to hear from your own perspective.
So after asking me questions, we now had a conversation, just asking each other how we see the rural life, how we feel about it as a young generation.
Do you see yourself going to be living in the rural areas?
Yeah.
I will go to the
Kunda have already made the decision.
He's already made the decision.
Yeah.
Decided.
But for me, I'm still contemplating. I haven't made like the final decision. But one or the other, I think I'm going to end up in the rural areas.
You know, one thing I've seen about Birioti has been inspired about the big houses.
Mansions.
Yeah, and the mansions.
Yes, he's seen houses where they are.
He might change his mind here, but when we are in the where there are nice houses, you will say, I'm inspired.
For me, I don't think that I have enough courage that she has, of making that bold decision. I'm not there yet. You see, maybe it took her probably maybe 5 years to really say, because she did not wake up one day and say, I'm just going.
Yes.
Without spending days contemplating on it. And
thinking about it.
Yeah, you see. So I think it takes time, and for me, I know that it will take time, and one or the other is going to happen. You see, yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. But yes, for me, Zangula.
Good day, we already made this decision.
It's just that one day we will see you not at your house.
Yeah. You will see me like. You will see signs. The signs will be there. The signs will be there.
Plus, what I've seen, in the rural areas, there is too much land. Some of the land, they are not being even cultivated. So I think it's an opportunity from, we are crowded here. If you see, even the people in Mbari, and you come here, then you see there is land without being occupied.
Yeah.
It's very fun. And you see people saying, we are living here, 5 of us.
So what I've seen is there was a day I was going to Mrewa. Because I come from Mrewa. I had some people, I picked some people, went to Mrewa. And then they were talking and they were saying, you know what, I actually have this other guy was saying I have a table at Mbuzi. And you are saying I stay in Mrewa. The other one was saying I stay at Cross Mrewa. Yes, in the rural areas. But they were saying we go every single day, every morning.
Wow.
Do you know there are people who stay in Chinoi?
Alright.
Who come to Harare. There are people
Every
who stay in
day.
Marondi.
Yeah.
Who come to Harare.
Yeah.
People who stay in Chegutu. People who stay in Norton. People who stay here.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
That's true.
So that's what I'm saying. If I say I'm moving to the rural areas, it's not like I'm going to Wage or something.
Yeah, that's
true.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be going in such a way that when you tell me, good night, let's meet at 12, I'll be there in town.
Yeah.
Yes.
Plus, I think, the other thing that I think, if we pressurize mostly to the rural areas, I think even the government itself is start developing the jobs in rural areas.
Yeah.
Because if you analyze well, I think we have like 4 main roads which are congested mostly on the peak hour time.
Yeah.
Like if you see the Mutare Road, you won't travel it in around 7, 6 because many people will be coming from Arwandera, Ruwa. There's a lot of people coming there. Then if you go to Chitungiza Seke Road, most of the people they will coming from Lema. So if you analyze it well, you will see that most of the people they are not coming from Harare. They are coming from the
outside.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. And if we pressurize mostly to go in the rural areas, the government will be forced to bring the jobs from the towns to the rural areas.
Yes.
So I think it's
Are we going to see that time though? Like people from Chitunguiza are saying we're not going to Harare. We're just going to focus on Chitunguiza and the second demo.
Yeah, very soon.
Yeah, it's very possible, especially considering the fact that nowadays people now understand that we don't necessarily need to go to Harare to do everything. I think if we have a lot of people this side, like I think you have seen what has been happening with this chicken outlet.
Yes,
yeah? I will not say that. So if you check, there was a time when if you want to get chicken and chips, you had to go into town.
Yeah, that's true.
But they started realizing that, you know what, we can go to Warren Park, we can go to Kwazana, we can do this. So if even banks start saying, let's go and open a branch at Dema, it's Dema, right? It's Dema, or somewhere close by. That means if you start having banks close by, nowadays you see people are building even shopping malls.
Yes.
Yeah.
I go to malls. I know some people in South Africa.
Even garages, fuel stations. There's a fuel station here in Dema. But before, if you are going to the rurals, you need a jerrycan to give you enough fuel to go to the rurals and come back. But there's a fuel station.
So nowadays you can just go to that place and
there's fuel there.
So yeah, it's happening. It's not a one-day thing, of course, but I believe it's happening very soon. You're going to be saying, you know what, I haven't been to Harare for 5 years.
And one thing that I pray that they must do first, to put even a railway from Dema to Harare. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that you are going into the train just to go to Harare? It's something.
It will be faster.
Yeah, it will be faster.
So that's the other thing that I need. That's need to be developed, especially in these type of areas. Plus, you know, this type of areas, you know, there is another thing. There is clean. What do you call clean energy? Because if you see here, we don't have electricity, but most of the houses they are powered by solar system.
No, there's also electricity. The other side there's electricity.
Oh, that's
only maybe this side. But where my nini stays, there's electricity.
So
not
it's
just famous. Yes, there's such a.
Oh, so they have electricity.
There is electricity, raw electricity.
It's not very far from here.
How far is it mainly from here? About 200 meters.
Yeah. 200 meters is not far.
Yeah, it's not.
So we can stopping you
so we can
from
say
coming.
there's electricity.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, so
Just a matter of time, but there's electricity.
so
Interesting. So that means your lodge or resort or African.
There'll be electricity.
yeah, so that's it.
There'll be lights all over.
And
that
you know-
even if someone is there, they will be able to see that.
And you know, most of the people now they want privacy. So they won't even choose to find a lodge in Harare.
Yeah.
They say, let's go there.
People want,
One privacy.
people don't want to go to places where I meet you.
That's true. That's true.
Go to places
Where no one knows me.
Yeah.
do our thing there, then they come back. That's what.
Just like even here in the rurals, no one will know she slept without eating. No one will know anything.
Yeah.
But in Harare, it's like when we say him goes, Mago would
That's true. That's
just say how I eat out go to spotlight.
I think.
Thank you so much, guys. You see, I'm with the gurus today. Say Kunda Istima, Mr. Biriot, and Mr. Morgan. Guys, thank you so much.